Hello and welcome to my Keeper Perilous guide. The objective of the Keeper is to provide support to the team. It's the purest support class in the game, but it doesn't necessarily have to be boring for players who like being in the fray. This build is a lot more aggressive than most due to the Fade Step and Mind Blast combo, which I'll explain later. My first skill which I use is Mind Blast. Mind Blast, when upgraded, grants 10% of your barriers for each enemy that it is hit by your Mind Blast, meaning you can have an almost constant supply of barriers. This was fixed in a recent patch, and it's a very strong skill to have. It has a very fast 8-second cooldown, meaning you can spam it quite a lot, which is very useful to have due to the clean burn passive which the Keeper also has. Mind Blast is also an Eldritch detonator, meaning you can use this to detonate sleeping targets for a nightmare combo, or incapacitated enemies for a basic one. Due to its area of effect, it also can detonate multiple combos at the same time. The next skill I take is Fade Step. Fade Step is pretty self-explanatory. You use it to get the fuck out of trouble, or in my case, to charge into groups of enemies. This skill is relatively spammable as well, with a 12-second cooldown, which is good for clean burn, and it also does a decent amount of damage when it's upgraded too, also chilling multiple enemies in the process. My third skill is Static Cage. Static Cage again is pretty simple to use. You place it in groups of enemies or at choke points so your team can benefit from the crowd control and extra damage that it provides to all attacks on enemies in its radius. I like to use this before fade stepping through enemies as well for extra damage, as well as locking enemies in for Mind Blast barriers. Static Cage can also paralyze enemies as well, and you can detonate this with Mind Blast for a basic combo, which is a nice little extra DPS. Lastly, Barrier. Barrier is the centerpiece of any Keeper build, and this is no exception. It's arguably the most useful skill to have in a party as well. With an upgraded Barrier, Mind Blast and Fade Step, you should be able to have Barrier off cooldown whenever it expires, assuming you aren't under an enormous amount of fire, of course. My only tip here is to not spam Barrier every time it comes off cooldown though, but rather to have it always available for when you need to use it on yourself or allies who are taking a beating. It's basically like a condom in that respect. It's better to have it and not need it, than to need it and not have it available. Your key passives which I recommend on this build is Mana Surge, which can be detonated with Mind Blast, Guardian Spirit because the Keeper without barrier is about as strong as a wet tissue, and Clean Burn just for the cooldown reduction it brings. Anyway, this is generally how I play the Keeper on Perilous. I'll put the full unlock order and build link in the description so you can refer back to this video if you need to. Thanks for watching, goodbye.